And welcome to week 4 of the French Revolution meets Pokemon trading cards. This week, we move on to consider the role of the Enlightenment. Now, often the Enlightenment and the French Revolution are seen to be just two things that go hand in hand. But we're going to probe the reality of that, really asking, was the relationship between the motivating factors behind the revolution really enshrined in Enlightenment philosophy, or was that relationship just superficial? Whilst we consider that, we will be pressing on with Darkness Ablaze cards, still looking for any rainbow card. That'll be welcome. If we can draw that remarkable Rillaboom gold card, then there will be dancing and singing. Anyway, as we consider this week's session, we're actually going to kick off with a potted history of the French Revolution. It's something that we sort of don't do that much with in terms of really dwelling on the specific dates, kick off for psychic energy. But we're going to blitz through that in the first sort of first quarter of the session or so, just to give you that breakdown of the chronology of the revolution. The revolution moves very quickly. One week we're talking about the National Assembly, then legislative assemblies, then directories before we get on to Napoleon and emperorships. Things move rapidly. So we'll give you that breakdown, that chronology, so you get appreciation of what is happening and when. However, our main focus is the consideration of the Enlightenment, and we'll look at this document in particular, the Déclaration des droits de l'homme et du citoyen. The Declaration of the Rights of Man and the Citizen, an important distinction there. We'll have a think about how Enlightenment philosophy, hello, so we have got, it's Dracozolt, and it's rare. That's a quiz. No, that's not a quiz. That's a reading. That's an additional reading for you, and it's a good one. I've never had this card before. That's great to get that rare reverse. How's the pack gonna finish? It's going to finish uninspired with Wigglytuff, but that we like. So, where were we? That took me by surprise. Thinking about how Enlightenment philosophy underpins this document, if indeed it does. There are lots of interesting points of discussion in this. We're talking about increasing the enfranchisement. So representation is certainly going to be enhanced as a consequence of this document, but not for all. One of the really important distinctions about this, is that the right way up? That's the right way up. Okay. Ooh, cool. One of the really important distinctions about this title here is it's the Declaration of the Rights of Man and Citizen. Women are very notably excluded. And we talked about this a little bit last week in terms of how representative and how beneficial the revolution was to women in a French context. The shorthand version is not very. And that's sort of exemplified here, reinforcing the fact that women aren't being acknowledged as citizens, so they don't really benefit in terms of rights and privileges and freedoms afforded to the wider body of men who are now notionally represented by this document. So interesting points there. Points on religious freedoms are interesting, and that's perhaps where, at least at a superficial level, we can start citing the impact of the Enlightenment when it comes to Pansage. We don't really care about that. In terms of where we're seeing it manifest in documents like, have the first years got some luck? We've got something. It's a dark card. Oh, Stunfisk. I don't know if we wrote this one or not. I'm going to double check. I think I've got a different version of Galarian Stunfisk, so I'm not sure if this goes into the pot. But that is good. It's not secret. It's not secret, so that means two additional readings. Lucky first years. Lucky David as well. Okay, good stuff. We're on a roll. What's pack 3 going to give us? We've got 2 great cards, 2 gaps, 2 new ones, 2 rares. Can we make it a hat trick? Where were we? What were we talking about? Enlightenment philosophy. Yeah, so religious freedoms is something that does come through. in this document. So France sort of stands out as a bit of a trailblazer in terms of increasing freedoms, religious freedoms that perhaps were on the grounds of the importance of Catholicism more than anything, something that were highly restricted prior to this period. So we'll pick apart the whole document and just try to draw out those narratives. This is a template, is something that's going to be echoing across much of Europe as well. And there are points within this that stick with the French Constitution today. You know, greater or lesser extents, this is still manifest and still plays an influential role in some respects. And we've already talked about the ongoing issue in terms of attitudes towards women in French society, but that's probably a video for another day. What have we got? That's not rare. It's Daramaka, it's reverse, but it's not rare. Last card for this week. What are we going into this week's teaching on? Not much. Well, Arc de Result. Arc de Result's fine. I mean, that's cool. I don't think we had Arc de Result before, but I think the real winner here, I mean, we've got a lot of the hybrid fossils. That's cool. That we're pleased about. So that's a good set. I mean, I think that's not too bad from the first years. You're pulling some luck again. So 2 additional readings exploring the Enlightenment and this document about the rights of man, the citizen, how representative it is in relation to the Enlightenment. We'll be exploring that this week, and we look forward to seeing what comes out in next week's cards. But look forward to seeing you all on Tuesday morning. See you then.